Alright, welcome back. We're going to be looking at types today for this episode. So basically a type, there's a lot in programming languages. There's things like ints, which are just a number, and so just like a whole number. And then there's a double, which is a decimal. You know, you get the gist. It's just different data types. I'm just making up things at this point, but you know. Like you have all these different data types, so it's just a way to specify what sort of data you're going to be holding inside a variable. You can also use these with classes as well, so classes are actually types as well. So that's just something to think about and a little bit more of an advanced concept. So, like I was alluding to, all these things are built-in types, and one of the built-in types is a string, which not every language has. Most languages do, but if you're on things like C++, C, you know, some of the lower level languages, strings are not actually built in, they're actually libraries. But most of the newer higher level languages like C#, it looks like, Python. I think in Java the string is technically just a built-in type. I could be wrong about that. But anyways, we can also do some string manipulation. CD uppercase SDT. We can do something like to upper. And the cool thing is, actually, every single type, I know this, has this function. I'm really not thinking about variable names, but if I wanted to convert this int, a number, into a string, every single type in C# comes with a toString function, which is just very helpful. Just sort of a nice thing to have. So I'm going to go ahead and have a console write line, and then I'm going to write out a couple of different types. And I'm going to print out has this function. So originally this was an int, but I'm converting it into a string, which is pretty cool. And then of course we need to have a read key here, so that way we can actually see our results. And let's go ahead and start this. So we're actually printing out our int as a string. So that's helpful when you want to interact with ints and convert them into strings. For example, if we wanted to combine, we can combine a string and an int by doing something like this. We can do SDD plus, and we could either use has this function, which is already a string, or we can just use a number again. And then I'm curious, we actually don't get an error. I think what this is doing automatic type conversion and converting it into a string, since it has to be that, but we can do this more verbosely and it just looks better. So let's go ahead and print out combined and see the results of that. And you can see with no spaces, we have the string combined with the number 10. Another type is called a Boolean, and so a bool is either true or it is false. And so Booleans are pretty simple, and you can use them in if statements, and you can just type this. And so what this will do is it'll say if is true, then we can just print out console.write line is true. But of course, this would not print out because is true is false. Yeah, we have Booleans as another type. You can also do comparisons with Booleans. So is less than, and then we could say if 12 is less than 10. And so what this will do is do a logical comparison and see is 12 less than 10, which it isn't. So this evaluates to false as well. So even if we put is less than, it wouldn't print out anything again because is less than is false.